Being a source of appreciation and gratitude are non-negotiable. This is the key ingredient of the alchemist. In order to refine our life experience and live from SageMind Alchemy, understanding that the environment of the mind, manas prakriti, the mind, manas, does not exist in isolation. It is shaped by its prakriti, its inherent nature. And this nature expresses itself through the gunas, Tamas, Rajas, and Satva. These are the primordial qualities of nature, the primordial qualities of creation and manifestation. They are always present in varying proportions, shaping our perception, our thoughts, and our responses. Tamas is inertia, heaviness, and also can be experienced as possibility. It actually can create dullness and resistance and confusion in the mind. It is the density of unawareness. However, it is the space where many of us finally say, no more suffering. And then we decide to take action. Rajas. We draw on the force of rajas, or movement, activity, can be restlessness, agitation. It can create turbulence and desire and constant grasping when it's colored by klishta, the kleshas. It is the density of overactivity. However, when utilized as a force placed upon tamas with a focused awareness, it becomes creation. Think of a block of marble or a lump of clay. The clay is tamas, or the marble is tamas. The action is rajas. The result that you get depends on what the intention is and how much mastery over manas prakriti you have. Through alchemy, this is the power of sankalpa. What space of perception am I cultivating, and what is the environment? See, the environment of sattva, which is clarity, harmony, illumination, creates calm, spaciousness, and wisdom. It is the vibration of lucidity. The state of our consciousness depends on which guna dominates and our ability to utilize as opposed to being used by them. Thus, the environment of the mind, manas prakriti. The environment of the mind, manas prakriti. It is constantly shifting, sometimes heavy and sluggish, sometimes restless and scattered. This is where we often suffer. Sometimes clear and luminous, which brings us to the power of appreciation. Appreciation is like a lever that shifts the gunas. Where the mind goes, energy follows. And gratitude directs that energy upward. We move right into this vertical continuum. On tamas, if the mind is heavy, self-critical, or resistant, appreciation can infuse light into that density. And by developing the perspective of, I value this body for carrying me, I appreciate the awareness of resistance and how it can strengthen me, I can awaken vitality from stagnation. Alchemy, the beginning steps of alchemy. With rajas, when the mind is restless, anxious, or driven, appreciation anchors and directs its energy toward what really matters. Cultivating the perspective of, I am grateful for this opportunity to serve, channels fire into clarity. With sattva, when the mind is already calm and clear, appreciation stabilizes, and the possibility of raising the frequency to an exponential possibility is present. Being from the perspective or the state of mind that is, I am thankful for the silence within, for the harmony, for deep and sacred neutrality. Neti, neti. This deepens serenity and sustains luminous clarity. Thus, gratitude becomes the alchemist's powerful environmental tool. It shifts the prakriti of the mind from heaviness to movement, from agitation to illumination, from clarity to sustained wisdom. Amplifying the power of creation is where we move into a state of flow and grace. The 5 great elements interface and mirror these shifts. Each element holds potential density, or a tamasic expression, turbulence and action, rajasic expression, and luminosity and clarity, light, a sattvic expression. Appreciation elevates each towards sattva. Appreciation sanctifies matter, consecrates the process, and remember, everything, absolutely every experience, emotion, thoughts, levels of mind, and behavior are in their essence one of the admixtures of the 5 great elements. Earth. From a tamasic heaviness to a rajasic stubbornness, for overaction to a sattvic grounded stability. Water. From tamasic stagnation to rajasic overwhelm to sattvic flow. Appreciation creates fluidity and connection. Fire. From a tamasic dullness to a rajasic aggression to a sattvic illumination. Appreciation makes fire wisdom-bearing and transformative. Air, or the vayu, from tamasic instability to rajasic distraction to sattvic expansion. Appreciation makes breath and thought light and joyful. Ether, the akasha, from tamasic emptiness to rajasic disorientation to sattvic spaciousness. Appreciation makes space a field of communion with Source. Why does this matter for the sage mind? See, without appreciation, the mind is captive to its prakriti, swaying with tamas or rajas. With appreciation, the sage mind becomes sovereign. It's capable of choosing where to place attention, thereby shaping the very environment of the mind. And through the alchemy of the gunas, manas prakriti, with the panchamahabhutas put together with appreciation, we understand that in this process, gratitude is non-negotiable posture because it ensures tamas is lifted into life, rajas is refined into clarity, and sattva is stabilized into wisdom. This is how appreciation becomes quantum. It is a quantum compounding, not only amplifying value as an expression to the external world, but continually uplifting the internal environment of the mind into the highest frequencies of coherence. Now, let's deepen our integration into a bit of an experience. If you are in a place to do so, and it feels safe for you, close your eyes. Sit tall and soften your breath. With awareness of your breathing and the knowledge where the mind goes, energy follows. The mind is like a garden shaped by its soil, its prakriti. That soil expresses itself through the gunas, tamas, rajas, sattva. When tamas is dominant, the mind feels heavy, resistant, confused. When rajas dominates, the mind is restless, agitated, and grasping. When sattva shines, the mind is clear and luminous. Appreciation is the alchemist's tool for tending this garden. It is how we shift the environment of the mind. When you are weighed down by tamas, appreciation is the spark that awakens vitality. Saying to yourself, I value this body for carrying me, draws light into density. When you are restless, confused, appreciation is the channel that directs energy into clarity. Holding the space of, I am grateful for this breath, this chance to serve, harnesses, literally like lassos, fire into purpose. When sattva is present, appreciation amplifies, sustains, and expands it. Holding the space of, I appreciate the silence within. Neti, neti. I deepen into this sacred neutrality of harmony and serenity. What I appreciate increases in value. I grow through my appreciation, and where my mind goes, energy follows. By gratitude, I shift all environments. I transform my mind into the mind of wisdom. I appreciate you. Namaste.